really weird to film standing. I don't do this often. Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I have for you guys the first TBR video of 2023. I'm super excited. I have been dying to make my TBR video for January for like weeks at this point. Like, I'm just ready to know like how the year is going to start. But you will probably notice by the title of today's video that you guys are actually going to be picking my TBR for the month, which is super exciting. Before I get into that, if you guys are wanting to participate in these TBR challenges and have some say on like content that I create behind the scenes, all that kind of stuff, make sure to go follow my bookstagram at Nellie's Library. I am pretty active on there, and this is where people picked my TBR. So if you want to participate in the upcoming TBR videos, make sure you go follow me over there. Let me just explain how this works. So I had this idea probably a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, how fun would it be if my subscribers got to pick what I read? Like, what if I did my TBR videos like that? But then I was like, well, how am I supposed to pull that off? So what I did is I had you guys pick from a series of numbers. So you guys had to choose 3 numbers. The first number had to be between 1 and 3. The second number had to be between 1 and 5. And the third number had to be between 1 and 23, I think it was, which is going to correspond to which bookcase, which shelf, and then which book on that shelf I'm going to be reading. I haven't obviously worked out any of the kinks. So like, if I land on a book that I've already read, I have thought about, because honestly you guys participated in this way more than I thought you would. Like, I have so many series of numbers. So my first thought is that if I land on a book that I've already read, I can look at either side of the book, so the book on either side of that, and see if I've read either of those and then choose that one. Or if I have enough entries, I can just get a new number. Okay, so I literally have 44 entries, so I feel like I will be fine because I'm only going to do 10 books, I think. Let's just go through these, and if I land on a book that I've already read, then I'll just move on to the next one. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what you guys chose for me to read in January. Okay, so the first set of numbers that I have is 3, 3, and 3. The third shelf, which is going to be all the way over there, the third bookcase, and then the third shelf and the third book. Okay, I have already read that book, so let's move on to the next one. 3, 3 again, and then book 7. Let's see. Ooh, I have not read that one. First book on the TBR is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I'm really excited about this one, you guys. This is actually in my top 23 books to read in 2023 because I'm trying to get through all of the books on my shelf, but I'm really excited about this. This is basically, it says Evelyn Hardcastle will be murdered at 11 p.m. There are 8 days and 8 witnesses for you to inhabit. We will only let you escape once you tell us the name of the killer. Understood? Then let's begin. And it just sounds, I don't know, it just sounds really fun. I love books like this. So I have heard though that like the first 100 to 150 pages is confusing, but it's supposed to be that way. So to push through it. So hopefully I will end up liking this book. I have been dying to read this for so long. Book number 1. I don't know where to put this because I don't want to block my shelf. So I'll just make a stack on my chair. Let's see what next. Okay, so we have 3, 4, and 23. So 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way back here. And I have to count the 23rd book. Okay, so what happens if I don't have 23 books on that shelf? Should I, I'm gonna ask my husband and my sister what they think I should do.
You loop back.
Loop back to the top? That's a good idea. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna loop back up to the top. Okay, so you guys are doing great so far because this is another book that is on my top 23 to read in 2023, which means I actually, for the first time ever, might actually get through this list. But the next book going on the TBR is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have been wanting to read this for a really long time. I think I got this last year for Christmas and I just haven't gotten to it yet. I know that everybody loves this one, so I'm definitely interested to see if I love it like everyone else or if I'm going to have a different opinion. I feel like I typically hate the books that everybody else loves, so hopefully this is not the case because I really want to love this book. So let's add it to the TBR. Okay, so next we have 2, 4, and 13. So the second case, the 4th shelf, and book 13. I've already read that. Moving on. 3, 1, and 19. So the 19th book on this shelf. Another good one. Okay. I just want you guys to expect that my shelves are going to turn to a complete catastrophe throughout this video because it's so hard to get some of my books out. Okay, so the next one going on the TBR is Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. Obviously, okay, this is not obvious, but I loved the first book. Obviously, I'm super excited to get into the second one. I'm pretty sure the first book was either a 4.5 or a 5-star for me. Like, I really, really loved These Violent Delights. So I'm definitely excited to read this one. I have the Waterstones special edition of it, which is so, oh wait, no, this is not. Nope, this is the Fairy Loot exclusive edition. So pink sprayed edges. We have some really pretty dust jacket art. That was that one. Okay, 2, 4, 17. Okay, so I've come to a conclusion about that book on the shelf. The hard thing is that I have read it before. It was years ago, but I have read it before, and the only reason that I even have a copy of it on my shelf is because I loved it so much that I just wanted to own a copy of it. So I don't think I'm gonna add that book to the TBR, even though I could, but I'm really trying to get through the books on my shelves that I haven't read, so we're just not gonna go with that one. Shelf 3 is really popular. You guys really want me to read all of these books, which is good because I need to get through them. But the next one is 3, 4, and 8. I have read that book already, so moving on to the next one. 1, 2, and then 20. So, okay, so that book, it's the book of, oh, it's Shadow of Night, which is the second book in the Discovery of Witches, the All Souls trilogy, but I haven't read the first book, so I can't read that one. Technically, I haven't read it, but I can't read it. 2, 4, 22. Let's see. It stopped on book 21, so I'm gonna go back up here to count 22. I'm actually really, really excited about this one. Is this one on my 23 books to read in 2023? Okay, I don't think this is on my list for 23 books to read in 2023, but we landed on Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, which I have read Throne of Glass, so I can read this one. I feel like I need to reread Throne of Glass, but we'll just go into it without rereading and see if it works out. But Crown of Midnight is being added to our TBR. So far we have 4 books on the TBR, so 6 more to go. So next is 1, 4, 19. Sadly, I've read that one, but I was feeling kind of hopeful for that shelf because the majority of the books on that shelf I've not read, but of course it lands on the one that I have read. Okay, 3, 1, 23. Okay, you guys, I'm kind of torn because, so I did shelf 1, counted through, but it didn't end on 23, so I had to continue to the next shelf. And it landed on Throne of Glass, which I have read, but I kind of want to reread before I read Crown of Midnight. This is so hard. I really did not think it would be this hard. I think in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and add it because I just know myself. I'm going to have to reread Throne of Glass before I will read Crown of Midnight. So I'm gonna end up reading it this month anyways, I feel like. So it might just be easier if it's on my TBR. Obviously, I have read this and tabbed it, so I am excited to read this. We'll go ahead and add it. That kind of worked out in my favor. 2, 4, 17. Wait, we've done that one before. 2, 3, 15. I have read that one. 2, 4, 23. I had to continue the next shelf, and I've also read that book. 3, 2, 22. So again, I had to continue to the next shelf, but we landed on The 1,000th Floor by Katherine McGee, which is perfect because I also have been wanting to read this one, and it's on my 23 books to read in 2023. So I'm like blowing through these books, you guys. I think I'm gonna hit my goal this year. So yes, super, super excited about this one. Okay, 1, 4, 19. Someone has done that one, so just kidding. 3, 2, 13. Another third shelf, you guys. Okay, I have read that one. 2, 4, 18. I've also read that. 1, 2, 9. So we landed on All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. I feel like I've kind of fallen off the Colleen Hoover bandwagon, I feel like. I don't know. I feel like I always start her books and then like never finish them. But I am excited to get to this one. I did start this one, I want to say like back in April, and then I stopped on page 25. I didn't even finish it because I heard that you're supposed to read something before you read this. It says they're unrelated, so I'm adding this to the TBR because a bunch of different Google things are telling me that I can read this, so we're gonna add it. We need 3 more books on our TBR. I realized that I gave you guys access to all 5 shelves, but the 5th shelves all the way down the bottom literally aren't. They're like random things or like collectors editions of like classic stories, like the giant thing of Alice in Wonderland or the giant thing of Wizard of Oz, which I'm not actually going to read. So can't do that one either. 1-3-17. I have read that one. It's a Harry Potter book. 1-4-4. Dang it, it's another Harry Potter book. I read it. 2-3-21. Okay, that is a book in a series and I'm not there yet, so I can't read that one. 1-3-9. I've already read that one. 2-4-17. We've had that one already. Okay, you guys have to stop choosing 2-4-17. Pick a new series of numbers. 1-4-7. I've read it. 2-4-16. I've read that one also. 3-1. I feel like we've had 3-1 and 22, but I feel like it will change, right? Technically, we have had the series of numbers 3-1 and 22 before, but because books were pulled from the shelf since then, it changed the book that it landed on. I obviously had to do a continuation onto the second shelf. We landed on the book Daisy Jones and the Sixth by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read some things from Taylor Jenkins Reid. I have read The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hugo. I mean, 7.5 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. And I did not like that one at all. And then I read Malibu Rising and I really liked that one. So this one I feel like I'm either gonna love it or hate it at this point. It's also one of my 23 books to read in 2023. I do have high hopes for it. Okay, so we need 2 more. 3-3-23. I have read that one. 1-1-21. Let's see. Okay, you guys are giving me a lot of chunkers. So this has been on my 20 books to read in 2020, 21 books to read in 2021, and now my 23 books to read in 2023. And I have told myself, Janelle, if you don't read it this year, you have to get rid of it. So, Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. I've been wanting to read this for such a long time. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this. I have no idea why I have not gotten to this book, but I need to. I am intimidated by this book because I have heard that the writing is very lyrical and I don't always love lyrical writing. I have a really hard time enjoying it. So hopefully I will end up loving this book. I really do want to read it, and it is on my 23 books to read in 2023 list, so I need to get to it. So one more, guys, one more book. Let's see what the last book is going to be. 2, 3, and 10. I have read that one. 3, 2, 11. So I haven't read that one, but it's like a classic. It's Dracula, but I'm not gonna read Dracula in January. I just won't do it. I have that book for October for this year, so I'm not gonna add that one to the TBR. I'm sorry if that feels like cheating, but it's also my game. So 2, 1, 18. I have read that one. Okay, I think I have, that's like all of my entries, you guys. That's all of my entries, but I need one more book. I'm thinking maybe I'll go back through some of these and see if the book changes a little bit. I found one that will work because we took a book off of a shelf, so it changed which book it lands on. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no other ones that will do that. This is the only one that works. I went back through all of them and none of them work. They land on a book that I read. Yeah, okay, so I did the series of numbers 1, 2, and 20. And the book that we landed on is, it's a special edition of it, but it's Witches Steeped in Gold by Cinnamon Smart. Cinnamon, what the freak. This is a special edition. This is a Fairy Loot edition that was given to me by one of my coworkers when I used to work at Barnes & Noble, and we have the stenciled edges. It's just really beautiful, and I have been wanting to read this. I just haven't gotten to it. So, book number 10, and we're gonna recap all of the books really quick. So, book number 10, Witches Steeped in Gold. Book 9, Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. Book 8, Daisy Jones and the Six. All Your Perfects, Colin Hoover. The Thousandth Floor. Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight. Our Violent Ends by Chloe Gong. Song of Achilles. And The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I would say that that is a pretty stinking successful TBR. You guys picked some marvelous picks that I'm really, really excited about. I feel like we are starting the year off strong. A lot of these in here are 5-star predictions for me, so I think that this month is going to be a fabulous month. But that's everything for today's video. Again, if you guys want to participate in next month's and all the months after that, where you guys get to pick my TBR, or just want to be behind the scenes on some filming and help give video ideas and all that kind of stuff, make sure to go follow my Bookstagram. I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.